Yes, and we are live. Okay, here we go. Welcome to the Connect 2 Season 2. With myself, I'm Episode-1. I'll be your host for Season 2's hashtag Pandemic Aftermath. Our Season 2 is themed Pandemic Aftermath, where we'll be discussing how COVID-19 has impacted businesses and entrepreneurs and the adjustments and shifts they've had to make just to keep afloat. Today, we are joined by Ayanda Diasi, who is the founder of Muan Beaty Bar, and we're also by Angelique Malgas, who is the founder of Clean Peace and Galaxy Seeds. Welcome, ladies. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much for joining us. How are you feeling today?
Thank you so
Awesome,
much
thank
for
you.
having us.
Thank you for
I'm so
having
glad
us.
you're here. Get right to it. I'd like to start with Ayanda. Tell
Yes.
us, who is Ayanda Diasi and what does she do?
Good morning. Good afternoon, everybody. I'm Ayanda Jesse, the owner and founder of Muan Beaty Bar. I'm a mobile spa, so that's the service that I cater through my business, and we do house calls because we are mobile. So we cater in like
Mm-hmm.
massages, facials, nails, makeup, etc.
Mm-hmm. Oh, wow, that's nice. It's interesting. The same time, I think I should come book my nails also.
Right.
Angelique, please tell us. Angelique, please tell us a bit about your businesses, Clean Peace and Galaxy Seeds. What are they? What are their missions?
Well, CleanPiece was designed out of the fact that it needed to be there. Like the market was really saturated with cannabis and bongs and things like that, but nothing to clean those things. And that's where I came in. And the seeds was just like my extra thing because I was always doing that. That's how I started in the cannabis industry. And I'm just continuing with that in my way because I felt like I needed to get myself seen and known a bit.
Oh, yeah. So what exactly inspired the concept? Like, what made you think, okay, I need to clean people's bongs?
Well, for me, it's my OCD in general because why every time I go to someone's house and they offer me a bong, I can't refuse without
Mm,
seeming to be rude because I don't
Yeah.
like smoking out of someone's dirty utensil, and that's what they always are offering. And that's not something
Mm.
hygienic or satisfying for my chest, and I don't like having a sore chest.
Yeah.
So that's where that came in. So the experience of smoking out of a dirty bong along bong because of not being able to see what I was smoking out of shocked me to want to make sure that I have a clean piece all the time.
No, that makes a lot of sense. Ayanda, how exactly did you start executing that? When did you see that? Okay, I'm good with my hands and I'm good with makeup.
it's crazy, right? I wouldn't lie to you. Growing up, I used to hate makeup. Like the thought of just wearing lipstick, I used to hate it. I couldn't stand it, right? Then I moved to Cape Town for my studies, and I used to just randomly do my friend's face, and I would just do her
Mm-hmm.
makeup and everything. Then that's how she's the one who planted the idea in my head. Ukuthi, like, you should actually consider this as a business. I'm like, "Ah, no, man." And then she started just randomly telling people on campus that, no, my roommate was my friend, does my face every now and then. Then that's how I started out, like getting clients, like the students and everything. So I was like, okay, I can actually make a business out of this. But at that time, I'm still a student and everything. So I've also been diagnosed with migraines at a very young age. Like, I think it was during 2014 that it actually started giving me real problems. And then
Mm-hmm.
that's when I started when I moved out from home, 2015, to be in varsity, that's when I started smoking weed, right? Cannabis. So it used to help me so much with my migraines and everything. And I guess with that and using some products on my skin as well that is cannabis based, with that and the idea that I'm actually a self-taught makeup artist, that's when I started taking it seriously. And I resigned as a trainee manager at one of the biggest retail stores in South Africa, which is Checkers. I resigned as a trainee manager, and I decided to start up my own thing. That's when I really started executing the idea of being a mobile spa. But in a long run, I just want to execute the fact that it had something to do with my health. It helped me with my health and my skin. So that's what actually gave me that drive that one day I just want to have my own skincare range that is CBD based.
Oh, that's amazing. Well, it's kind of great that Angelique is here because she's also in the cannabis industry.
Right.
And she produces seeds and stuff. So speaking of the seeds, Angelique, where do you get the seed? How important is it to find a supplier that is reliable, for your seeds and also for your clientele?
For that, it's easy because I made sure that I'm getting my product directly from the source, which is overseas. The companies overseas that get the seeds directly from the companies, the brands, the breeder packs, and all those things are sourced directly from the companies themselves. So I make sure that they are labeled with the certificates and things so that we know that they are not fake or anything like that, because they are certified packaging that we get in. So that's what I'm selling. I'm making sure I'm selling certified packaging that are from the breeders themselves.
Okay, that's great. And I wanted to ask, like, when you first started, what challenges or what fears did you have at that time?
Pardon? Please repeat the question.
Oh, I'm sorry. I was gonna start with Angelique, saying what challenges or what fears did you have at that time started? Then I'll come to you, Ayanda, as well. Same question.
Well, for me, it wasn't more like fears. It was more like motivation to want to do it because of the fact that I left my job, my previous job, and decided I need to do something and I need to take this idea that I have, which is CleanPiece and Galaxy Seeds, and just combine it and go with it. Because Galaxy Seeds is something that there's a lot of seed companies out there in South Africa already. So I have no problem with being one of them. So because we need a lot of seed banks, we need a lot of people supplying everyone with different seeds and things like that, so that we can actually get our own genetics made. So I am happy for that. But I wanted to focus on CleanPiece because of the fact that there wasn't a market out there, and someone was asking for a cleaning product that she herself needed and I needed, and I was like, because there isn't anything out there, I'm gonna do it and make it myself. And that's what I did.
That's great. And same question to you. What are the challenges that you had at the time that you started
that I faced? And okay, and fears. Well, I like what sorry, let me get this straight. Can you please remind me of your name, because I hate this right now? Angelique.
Angelique.
I had it in my mind right now.
It's okay, it happens.
Right, as Andrew was stating that she had to resign from her old job. That's what I faced. That was the biggest thing I've ever done, because bear in mind, I'm a 22-year-old. I'm in a management position in one of the biggest retail stores, and I one day go home and I'm like, you know what, I'm done. I didn't sign up for this, and this is not my passion. I didn't study retail just so I can do this, right? So I tapped into that, and I was like, I'm not doing it. I'm just going to follow my passion, because one of the things I always say to people, if you're going to have to wake up every day and feel tired or already annoyed before you even get to work. That means
Yeah.
that's not where you're supposed to be. Your work should provide
True.
mental peace. It's something you should be excited about.
Creativity.
So that's one of the things that motivated me to actually go with my passion, right? So 2019, I was like, you know what? I don't just want to be focused on makeup, right? I want the whole range of the whole package of being a beauty therapist. That's when I signed up for more studies. I went back to college. I did a different course and I did the whole beauty technology course. Now that's why I'm able to stand out from my competitors and say, I'm not only focusing on makeup, I'm focusing on doing massages, I'm doing facials, I'm doing all of these things, but at the comfort of your own home. So that's that's my drive for me. That's always been my drive, that I want to cater for the convenience of people, not people going to the spa because sometimes it's fully booked or whatever, but having that entire luxury
Or the
experience.
fact that you can't even get to the spa. Because that's the one challenge that people have. So I really like the
Especially
idea
now.
that you can keep my home and help me and pamper me.
Yeah.
Right.
Oh,
So
wow,
yeah,
that's
for me that was the only thing that was challenging me, besides thinking about my competitors and everything, because I know what makes me stand out from my competitors.
Yes.
It's what I'm actually offering, which is the convenience.
That is so great. Okay, now let's talk big boom, the big bang that hit the whole globe, every country, every city. That's COVID-19. It hit everyone and really shifted all our lives personally, day to day to lives, family lives, friendships, relationships. But I think business hit the most. So I would like to let's start with you, Angelique. What was your experience like when COVID hit?
Well, for me, it was like COVID hit me with a reality check of I should start doing my thing. And that's what I did. So I opened up my companies during COVID and decided I'm going to do this. I'm going to take what I have, take it step by step, take it as it comes, and just do it so that make sure that my company and everyone has the ability to have access to it. Because that's what I want to be able to do with this Galaxy Seas and CleanPiece. Because it's such a saturated market, but saturated only for a certain how you say class that has money or something, and it's not like that, because this plant is a medication that everyone should have access to, and be able to have that, just to break that, just to start breaking that and being able to give that access to everyone, because everyone wants to use it, everyone, and there is a need and a resource for it, and there is actual purposes for this plant, and we not being able to get access to it is a real shame, because why, we can do so much more with it and gain so much more with it for everyone, but that's now being hindered because of the way things are.
Yeah. So since COVID hit and you started the companies in COVID, how has that been? Like clientele, have they appreciated? How's the reception been, should I say?
It's been positive and slow. Like people are saying, "Oh, they don't have money," but it's always like that, because they're thinking that I with CleanPiece now they're thinking that I'm being like, I'm setting like an expensive market or something like that. But I'm not. I'm being realistic with the price, in a sense, and making sure that it's accessible for everyone. The product is so that you can use it over and over, and I've designed it so that it's so versatile that you are more like saving in what you're doing with the product, with water, and how you are using it, so that your time and everything is of value. So that's how I've incorporated in making this product, because everything in life is of value. Time, what we do, the resources that we make use of. So trying to make less of use of our valuable resources is what incorporated the design of CleanPiece. And that's why I try to make sure that when I explain it or execute it to someone, that they understand that. So getting people to understand the product
That
is my
the
main aim
value
so
behind
far. And then once they get buy the product, knowing that they are getting the surety of it or just trying it out, they are happy with it, because that's the positive feedback I've always been getting from it once they've made the purchase. So that's why this COVID has really just been a time to say, screw the world, we're going to take on the world, because why? They're just holding us back. That's literally what
Yeah.
I've literally used this COVID time to, because we've always been held back, like we've been
Yeah,
in
you're right.
COVID,
True.
like we've been in COVID times, and now they're just using COVID as an excuse. So now I'm just saying, keep your COVID excuse. I'm gonna just keep pushing, because now there's no other time, because we are just
Yeah.
not wasting time, but we are being held back from what we can achieve and what more we can be, especially as a country.
No, no, you're absolutely right there. Ayanda, for you, what is your experience like when COVID hit?
Right. Luckily enough, COVID hit when I was still completing my second qualification of the beauty industry in the beauty industry. So, but it was a wake up call to a point that, like, for me, I felt like it was a reminder from God that you lack nothing. You have to use what I've given you. You have to fulfill your purpose in life. And what is your purpose? It was challenging in that extent. What is your purpose on earth, right? So,
Yeah.
getting the service to the client, to the customers, was what's important, because bear in mind, now the world is falling apart,
Yeah.
right? And we've always, as humans, I feel like it was a wake up call in the extent that we've always thought we have everything under control. We control what happens. If something happens, we always have a plan B to just make it work in your way. But with this COVID-19, it just it just dawned on humanity that you don't have control. You have to start where you are at this current moment and use what you have. So for me, for my business, it was good in a way that now, remember, spas are closed. The entire world is chaotic.
Yes.
People can't get to where they want to get, but rather I'm the one who brings the service to them. Right. So that was a wake up call for me, and it actually given me more purpose. That okay, actually, that this is the reason why I started this whole thing. This is why I wanted to be mobile, because I understand the frustration of being. Bear in mind, you are stressed. You're not working. There's a world crisis, and if you just want something to relax and to have that experience at the comfort of your home, it was a huge deal for me. So also the fact that what's satisfying for me and what was satisfying with regards to this whole experience is that it only takes one client, right? Because in my work of in my industry, the only not the only advertising, but the biggest advertising you can ever have is word of mouth. So for me, I always treat my clients as if they are my only client in the entire world, because the experience and seeing the satisfaction that they have after receiving a service from my own business, that is satisfying for me, and that's one thing that's pushing me that, you know what, you're on the right track. This is what you signed up for. This is why you started why you started. And the fact that this COVID thingy hit the world so largely at such a very unexpected time, it also didn't affect me much, because at the same time, remember, my work, my kind of work is very seasonal. So even now, like as I'm talking to you, this is my season to be like getting a lot of appointments and everything, because it's a wedding season, it's a Christmas season, that's when everybody just wants to relax and forget about work and everything. So during the year with the COVID, I didn't really have much panic, because I also had like school to complete at the same time. But by this time of the year, I know it's always booming. However, even if some places are closed or whatsoever, but I can still cater that service
Yeah.
and deliver that service to my client. However,
No, that's great. That's great. And what kind of support or resources, Ayanda, can you say helped you through the phase of COVID and getting to people? Were you able to get to them easily? Were you able to send out your marketing and your advertising easily?
marketing side and advertising side was very easy, right? Because besides, like I said, word of mouth, it takes just one client for you to get a lot of client base, right?
Yeah.
Because bear in mind, I'm not renting a space whereby I'm saying my clients need to come to me and everything. And with this COVID-19 thingy, the protocols we had to adjust to because of hygiene, first of all, safety wise. So for me, regardless of the matter, I was still able to put my work out there because of the clients that I've always worked on. They still put my work out there. They still advertise me like that. And for me, being mobile is like the huge part of my business. If I can't get to you, then that's a crisis for me. Because bear in mind, I'm advertising myself as a mobile spa. So I haven't had challenges with regards to going to my client. But the only challenges I had was traveling wise. I couldn't take clients now from Cape Town anymore because now I couldn't, traveling was restricted and everything. But other than that, I didn't really have much of a crisis in terms of working locally. But the only crisis I had was if I had to step out and accept an appointment that is outside of my original city that I reside in.
Okay. Yeah. And Angelique, what kind of support or resources do you have that helps you through the process of starting the business during COVID and, maintaining it during COVID?
Well, having my partner that's very supportive, my parents also, and just having people, having the structure of people's support also. So having that with me made it easier to do what I needed to do. Plus having
And I'm guessing that
some
also
people.
kept you motivated.
Sorry?
I'm saying, plus, having that support from your family and friends and everyone kept you motivated.
It does.
Of course, yes, it does. It helps a lot.
It really does. I was even saying this.
Yeah.
Sorry to cut in. I was even saying this because we currently have a special running, right? For the Black Friday. So I was so touched this week with how my friends were marketing my business and sharing my posts and everything. And I was like, guys, we don't get to take time and actually realize that your support system is the people that are closer to you. They are your biggest support system. The only way they can support your business, even if they don't render your services or whatsoever, but putting your name out there, that is important. And we don't take time to actually acknowledge that as much as we're supposed to, which is
it's so true.
That is very true, because what I share can be shared by people.
Exactly.
They share to their people somewhere else, and very, very true. So, Ayanda, tell me, what did the overall experience of COVID teach you and about your clients?
First of all, it taught me to be humble. And one thing is that the people you meet on your way up are the same people you're going to encounter on your way down, because we all have a rock bottom at some point in our lives. But just because it doesn't happen now doesn't mean it's not going to happen 10 years later. That is one thing that COVID has taught me, especially about myself, and especially about the fact that I suffer from so much mental anxiety and everything. So it just has taught me to be more humble, to be more grateful about with regards to what I have and what I'm surrounded with. And just so I know that a God's no doesn't mean it's a denial. It just means that it's not the right time now to make the moves that you're supposed to be making. So it just taught me much patience and resilience, really.
That's true. Angelique, same to you, the overall experience that COVID taught you and about your clients?
That everyone is different. not everyone's the same, not everyone likes certain things, but you are more than welcome to give them your interpretation of things, and they don't need to like it or want it, but at least they gave you the opportunity to give you their version of an experience. And that is what I enjoy, is like the fact that you gave me the chance to at least explain myself and represent myself and show you what I'm doing and why I'm doing what I'm doing. So that's what I've been enjoying out of this, and that there is actually people that do like the product and do like the fact that I'm teaching them something new that they never would have really thought of or done themselves, and I'm actually helping them. So I like that fact, because I like helping people even when I can't really help people, because that's just in my nature.
Yeah.
So being able to
Yes.
do that in any way, in any form, has just been satisfying to me, just to help, even just educate people, and having people just being opening to listening to me has been a really, really awesome experience during COVID, because like everyone has their own situation, but everyone is willing to listen and be open-minded to understand each other. And that's what I got out of this.
Well, that's great. I can echo that. I will share a little bit of my experience. I just finished off my studies. I had to take a gap, obviously, because of COVID last year and finances. But I realized this year, going back to school and also being given this opportunity to do this kind of work that I'm doing now, is, I don't know if we should say God sent, but it is. It helped me discover a lot about myself and what I can offer out there, what I can offer the people. So I echo every single word that you guys are saying. Um, let's talk, besides COVID, right?
Right.
What has been your biggest challenges in the business? Ayanda, we can start with you. Besides COVID.
Besides COVID, I would say getting funding, right? That's been it still is my biggest challenge, right? And I think as a young entrepreneur, I've always been daring, right, and been bold and everything, not afraid to take risks and everything. But as a young adult now,
Yeah.
because I'm like, I can no longer call home and say, "Mommy, Daddy, money." I can't do that anymore. So I'm very skeptical. I am very it terrifies me, the thought of having to walk into a bank one day and ask for a loan, which is necessary. It is very necessary, but as a young entrepreneur and as a young adult, you feel like it's very scary. What if all those things? But for me, my biggest challenge has really been
Yes.
just acquiring a lot, like enough funding and everything. But for now, it doesn't really bother me
Yeah.
because I'm mobile, right? But as soon as I start having my own space, now I have to start paying rent. I have to start paying expenses and everything. Even like this week, I had an interview with one girl that she's also a massage therapist. I'm trying to employ her because I need extra hands. So I had an interview with her. But at the same time, I was like, now I need to start paying people. It's no longer just about me or whatsoever. That's been my biggest really vision of just saying, you know what, because I'm a very small town girl. I'm a girl from a small town, right? So I know the struggle of being a young girl who has to take a gap year and end up not even going to school anymore or applying. So I want to bridge that gap of just saying, you know what, I have I have a purpose, which is why I started this whole business. So I would rather give back by training these girls, showing them that you are capable of doing something.
Yeah.
Employ them and have them, because in the long run, I don't just want to be operating in Johannesburg. I want to have people in Polokwane. I have to have a branch in Cape Town and everything. So the only way to bridge that gap is if I step in and give what I already know by having these workshops and having girls learning something and not giving up entirely on life just because a varsity rejected you because of your finances, or you were like you didn't qualify because you didn't pass well. But the fact that it's manual labor, that's the only way I can say I'm willing to bridge that gap by offering that.
That is amazing. That is amazing. Angelique, your biggest challenge besides COVID within the business right now?
Right now is basically just getting sales because
Right.
everyone's tight and not everyone uses cannabis utensils. Not everyone is on the clean vibe. Not everyone is on the same wavelength of using things. Like I've been told that the old method of cleaning their bongs or utensils is better, like the isopropyl alcohol and salt, and I know for a fact it's not. The
It's
people
not.
that use the clean piece knows that it's not for a fact.
Mhm.
Like it's way more harmful to your health and more waste of water
Mm.
because you have to rinse out your piece how many more times then when you use your clean piece you just have to throw out the solution and then just give it a rinse as if you want to store.
Mm.
That's the thing that that's the thing about it. It's like my challenge is I'm I'm getting it out there slowly with little that I have, which is awesome. So I'm taking it slowly, but so I'm not building debt. I'm not building any sort of things that's going to make me struggle in the long run. But it
Mm.
is keeping me financially back at home with like little things that I should have at home and things like that. But it's
Mm.
not a struggle as long as it's moving forward. The only
Exactly.
problem is getting the product sold. And that's only
Yeah.
gonna happen, only gonna change once I start advertising more and and making sure that people know about it more. So
Yes, I was about to
I'm
say
not
that.
Yeah.
yeah,
I was about to say, jump on
Yes.
that most people, because I know this from experience, because I
yes,
also use CBD based products for my skin as well. People are not,
yes,
Mm.
they're not well informed. So that's why they're
yes,
like,
that's the
Yeah.
no,
problem.
I'm used to
Yes.
prawns because prawns is one of the biggest brands that is also advertised on TV. Why
Mhm.
should I try a CBD based product?
Mm.
What benefit does it have? It's just people
But
are
they
not
don't realize it's the best. It helps for everything. It takes
Especially
away
exactly,
with
all the
CBD.
exactly.
yes, because
We live in South Africa. When you mention
Hello.
cannabis, it's just,
yes, it is.
being
It
rolled
is. They
up
look
and
at you funny. If you have anything weed related, you like.
Exactly.
yeah.
Yeah,
So I
so it's
understand, yes, more information, more awareness
You're
can
right.
yes,
really
that's
change the
the whole
game.
thing. That's why I always make sure that I have something cannabis related on me to show that I'll rub it in your face. I'm a
Yes.
different version of what cannabis is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
Oh, that's great. Okay. Let's switch it around and say, what has been the most satisfying moment since starting the business? Angelique, you can start.
For me, it was
The
the
most
fact that everything actually worked out great. Like my ideas actually came to life, and what I thought of and what I wrote down came to what I ended up really wanting. So it took me a while to to fight through the challenges of deciding on my end products of what I wanted them to look like and how, but it ended up coming out the way I wanted it in the end.
Hmm.
So that was the 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 actual the satisfying part about it, and the 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 most satisfying part is also the fact that the people that bought the product from me actually bought the product from me, gave me back the feedback
Mm.
that I didn't expect, but I at least wanted because I worked so hard on it to make it do all those things that they are saying to me and that they're loving about it.
Hmm.
So that's the what I love.
No, that should be satisfying. Ayanda, your
Well,
satisfying
for
moment.
me, it always has been and it always will be. Um, the look I see on my client's face, especially after I've done their makeup, it's
Mm,
amazing. I can't explain it. It actually is so
Mm.
heartwarming, like overwhelming for me. Like I remember I did
Yeah.
one of this other famous YouTuber Unozibele Namanga or something like that. I did her face
mhm,
and I was so scared because I was like, I don't want to fail because this is like a celebrity
Yeah.
to me because she's so well known, she's so broad, and it's my first time doing her face. And I was like, okay, just you know what, just do what you normally would do at any normal person's face. This is just an ordinary human being. Don't panic. But it's always been the feedback and the reaction I get after delivering the service, and it's always I've never encountered. Not that I'm saying it's never going to occur. I've never encountered bad feedback because I make sure I treat every client like it's my only client in the world, like it's the most paying client that I would ever have. So for me, it's always going to be that, just seeing the satisfaction on my client's face and hearing such good feedback. It's so motivating, it's so pushing, and it's very you know, it's like a pat in the back, like, yeah, you're on the right track, you're doing very good.
And that's how you keep your customer base, and that's how you grow your clientele.
Yeah. And that's how also your word of mouth goes.
You know?
I'd like to know, what are your plans? Where do you see your brands in the next 5 years? Ayanda, you can go first. Where do you see Muan Beaty Bar in the next 5 years?
Right. Like I said, I mentioned a lot of. I answered this question in another question, but anyway, let's reverse that. Like I said, I'm trying to bridge the gap because I know. Right. I know how it feels like being a small town girl. I know how it feels being financially pressed, not knowing where to turn to. I know the dangers of like having that encounter and everything. So I'm trying to bridge that gap of saying, you know what, I'm actually empowering young girls to believe that there's something for them out there. You don't have to go to UNISA. If UNISA closes the doors on you, you can still look somewhere else and find a place for yourself to grow, to plant yourself as a seed and to grow. So I'm trying to bridge that gap of saying, because I want to have branches all over South Africa. Right, I don't only just want to be based in Johannesburg. I want to have workshops whereby I train these young girls. I give them a purpose of saying, you know what, you are now a qualified beauty therapist of Muan, or you are now a nail technician of Muan. I'm not trying to be out there and look for already existing like beauty therapists and everything. I'm trying to bridge the gap of saying we have these so many young girls who have given up on life altogether, who are just sitting there, and the only thing they resort to, that falls on their lap, is teenage pregnancy, and then it's over. Once you get to that, it's like you don't know what to do at that age, at that point in time. So I'm just trying to reset to saying, woman, remember your place in this world. You are powerful. You're more superior than even men, but you need to have the guts and the passion for it. You need to be hungry for it and be saying, you know what, I'm ready to put my mark on this world, or where I am right now. Yes.
So you basically just want to create opportunities for women that want to be in this world, that wants to make a mark, and that's awesome.
Thank you, Angelique.
That is amazing. Angelique, same question to you. Where do you see your brands in plural, in the next 5 years?
Well, I would like to see, my brands in plural to be known all over the world, especially in the cannabis industry. I would also like my CleanPieceZA brand to be in all the stores, all the smoke shop stores in the world, because why not? That's my main aim.
Imagine, I'm just thinking about it right now, because I always go to Tobacco Town to buy either a bomb or a lighter or whatever. I'm just thinking if your seeds were there or whatever, like really, like, I'm so inspired right now. I won't lie to you, because hygiene is such a huge big deal for me as well. So that's why I only have like these small bongs, because I'm like, I would rather.
Yes, that's the thing. Like, people say that. I notice that's what people buy. They end up buying the smallest bong, or something that they throw away. throw away
Yeah,
because
they're
of the
like,
fact that they don't know how to clean it, they don't know what to do with it, so they'll smoke it to the point and just throw it away. And I'm like, but
Yeah.
it's such a waste of money. It's such
Yeah.
a waste of it, on the environment alone. So the fact that I
exactly.
designed, yes, the
Yeah.
fact that I designed the clean piece incorporating with boiling water, because of the fact that boiling water is your best sterilizing form
Mm,
to sterilize germs and kill all the bacteria
Hmm.
that we build up in any case when smoking and touching and doing all the things we're doing with our pieces. That's the reason for why the product is made the way it is, so that we can have the best smoke all the time and know that we're not hurting ourselves while we're doing it. Because cannabis is a resource that's there to help us, and the best way we can
yes.
take it in is the cleanest way we can take it in.
So, can I have a question for
Right.
Angelique?
Sorry.
You
No
can.
problem. Please go ahead.
I forget. So, do you only focus like on bongs, or can I even like sterilize my ashtrays and everything that I use
Yes,
to
all
when
of
I
those things. That, that's the whole idea when I use the word utensils, because you use different things when you make
use.
your bomb or your cuppy or your joint. So all those things get affected with germs and dirt and with your weed in any case. That makes it unmanageable to end up wanting to use it at a point. So that's why the product is universal for all those type of things. So it works on metal, glass, and silicone to help get that grime and dirt off and get that smell away and that taste that makes it so
Mm,
unpleasant after a while.
yes, no, I'm
Yes,
Oh,
definitely
wow.
like
That's great.
nah, I'm sliding into your
That's
DMs.
great. Ayanda's
you
putting in
can
her
click
order.
into
In your order,
Definitely,
Ayanda.
I I have to like. She's just changed
you.
my whole life
Yes.
experience as an
You're
advocate
gonna
for
end
this.
up wanting to buy so many different bongs and things because of the way you can use the product, because you're gonna want those different things to smoke out of just to try it out.
Exactly.
And you know you can
Exactly.
clean it
You have
afterwards.
a whole collection, a whole cupboard of bongs, small to big.
Yes, small to big.
Your eyes,
Small
Hannah,
to
you just
big.
changed my life.
Um,
So
That's
literally.
great. That's why we have these conversations. That's why
Exactly.
Yes.
I
we have these
want to
conversations so you
know.
can learn something that you didn't know before. Exactly. No, that's
That's
great.
that's really
Um,
why I designed it.
I like to ask them, what advice? Okay, no, I think Ayanda, you have given the advice to young aspiring scholars or graduates, um, saying that they should make their mark in their place. You were giving them the opportunity in your company as you grow older. Angelique, I'd like to ask you, what advice would you give to aspiring scholars or aspiring entrepreneurs that want to start out?
My advice is write down every idea you have. Every little thing that you think of, just write it down. Because at some point
Mm,
you will be going back to that page, and it will help you start at whatever you want to do. Because you don't know where you want to start, because you don't know, because your mind is so filled with so many things. It's best to just write it down, because when you write it down you can it can help you narrow down the point of where you can start at. And a great starting point is start at a place where it doesn't cost you any money, because once you start there, it can only build and make you more inspired to want to do more and work on things, and how you can save more money to try and get your idea out there without thinking the big things that makes you want to go and get that loan and things.
True.
Whereas rather bringing yourself down to rather working it out slowly
mm,
will get you there without going at it full
yeah,
steam.
Exactly. Can I jump into that before
Yes,
you
yeah,
go on? Because
I
I like how
definitely.
Angelique said, start in a place whereby it doesn't cost you money. Because for me as well, when I started,
yeah,
for me, that the end goal was not money. It was not like something, okay, I want to make money out
yeah.
of this, whatever. Because
Yes, that's the whole thing. Yes.
if that's the idea I implement, like
Mm,
I implanted in my mind, I would have become greedy and I would have become like
Yeah.
I wouldn't be as humble as I am right
You
now.
missed the
But for the
process.
mere fact that my friend is the one who gave me that push, that no, man, start doing people's faces. And I was like, okay, let me just do you. Then she's like, no, you need to charge people. Literally, guys, I was doing people's faces for free because I'm like, I'm not looking for money. I'm just doing it because I
Yeah.
love it.
Yeah.
And then I would, even if I
Yeah.
would see her today, I would literally like hold her hand because she's the one who gave me this idea with you can make a name for yourself from doing what you love. She's the one who implemented, like who planted that mind, like that idea into my mind. That, but as Angelique said, if you start in a place whereby it's going to require you money, and if you start in a place whereby you just want money out of it, because money is going to bring you down.
Yeah.
It's going to bring you down if you're not being strategic about it. So don't
Yes.
look
You're going to
for
miss out the
money.
process and the important bits.
Exactly. Just start where you are. Start let people know what you do, what you're about, and everything without you charging people. It took me how many years to start charging people like a proper price list? It was 2019. That's when I started like literally really charging people. Otherwise, I was just doing it because I'm like, okay, I just want to get my name out there and everything. So you need to start at a place whereby you're not just looking for money, you're looking for growth and to be known and to put your name out there. That's it.
Yes. Yes, that is so true. I'm a firm believer in taking even if it's a little opportunity as an opportunity to harness your craft so that the next time when you do start getting paid for it, you know what you're getting paid for and it's value for money.
Exactly.
Yep.
Exactly.
Ladies, this has been a really great conversation. We're about to close soon. Closing comments guys about your brands, what you'd like people to know, where we can find you on social media. Angelique, you can go.
You can find me on Instagram at CleanPieceZA and at Galaxy Seeds underscore. That's Instagram. And then I'm also on Facebook. You can get me at Galaxy Seeds. That's the one. And then CleanPieceZA for Facebook. Those are the two places. My contact details are there. My website details are also on there. So you can definitely check me out there. You can also message me, DM me. I'll be able to answer any of your questions about anything that you might want to know about products, what I have to offer, what I can get for you guys, because I'm also be able to get things that we might not have in South Africa that I can source in because we have that access. So that's all the things that I can provide and do more.
Okay, Ayanda, you?
Okay.
We can find you on social media.
Okay, you can find us, Muan, not me, not my personal one. You can find us on Instagram. We are Muan_beauty. And then on Twitter, we are Muan Mobile Bar, right? No, wait. Okay, no, I'm sorry. It's Muan Beaty Bar on Twitter. And then on Facebook, we are MSH Mobile Spa. At MSH Mobile Spa. So yeah, you can like go into our page. You can DM us or whatsoever. But if you're trying to make an appointment, you're gonna find our contact details for our WhatsApp on all those social media platforms. It's there.
Okay, ladies, I am super excited. Thank you for joining me in this conversation. Thank you for sharing your stories. Thank you for sharing your beautiful smile, laughs. We at the Connect wish your businesses and your brands the best of the best, more clients, more sales, just name and shining lights all over the globe.
I wish I had a candle right now, but anyway. Thank you. Thank you for having us.
Those lights.
Thank you. Nice to meet you guys.
So
nice to meet you,
Thank
Angelique.
you.
And
it's lovely
hoping
We'll definitely keep in contact.
to get in contact very, very soon. But thank you guys so much for this opportunity.
Hopefully, next time we can do it in person.
Pardon?
Yes.
I'll say hopefully next time we can do this in person, physically, and we can share a coffee and some grapes.
No, remember you are booking me for a service. Also, Angelique is gonna book my services. So don't worry, you're gonna see each other.
Yes.
Thank you so much, ladies. Have a beautiful rest of the day.
Thank you so
You
much,
too.
guys.
Thank you for
Bye.
everyone who tuned in, who is watching.
Thank you, guys.
This is The Connect, and we're very glad to have you watching. Thank you. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.